if all your mates are getting married, how about all your mates are dying? When are you two dying?
Ooh.
Your target audience, are they trooping into that market space that you find yourself in?
How about the one that has 1, 2, 3 kids?
The question is somebody who doesn't have a kid, has a good career, looking for a guy with 5 kids with 5 baby mamas? You must understand that at the end of the day, you cannot sell a Honda Accord at the same price of a Bentley. Like it is what it is.
Welcome to the Superhuman Mindset podcast. My name is Felix Asare, and today I have the one girl that everyone who talks to says, "Ooh, Annie." And because of just the "Ooh, Annie," she started her own company. And it's the Ooh Annie beauty brand. I'll let her talk more about that. She calls it the Ooh Annie's Beauty Glam. But on the flip side of this, she's an HR information system expert. I mean, she does makeup artistry and a whole lot. She tells me that she is fluent in French, Tree, and Ga. I don't know. I could easily just throw in there Onuoga, Etisei, and Sava, but I'll wait for us to touch into that. And I will move to my second guest. Guys, I call this guy the worshiper. I mean, when he is on the mic, oof, spirit flows. That's all I can say. But Yao at heart, he's an adventurer. I know him to do a lot of traveling. He likes hiking mountains and just a whole lot of things that he does for fun. I can't wait to hear more. But today, I just want to talk to you guys about what the world is really like out there. So, welcome to the Superhuman Mindset, guys. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much. We're glad to be here as well.
Wow.
same
So,
here.
Annie and Yao, I hear a lot of people talk about I'm single and free. Single and free. Annie, I see your eyes go up. Is being single really free?
Single and free. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to say single and free. I think when you talk about being single and free, it puts you in this bracket where you're doing just about anything. So free is a bit like, uh, it's a bit too broad for me, if that makes sense. But um, yeah, being single definitely allows you to, explore and those sort of things. To be fair.
Well, yeah, I'll go to you. Being single, what you think?
So I think the concept why people even use the word freedom is because the concept of relationship is misconstrued, right?
Mm,
Because for the whole premise, the word free being in there shows that people denote relationship as not being free, as being in a controlled kind of situation, right?
mm,
But one, and also it denotes some level of like maturity in understanding what relationship is. So that is the main reason people say, "Yes, I'm single and free." You can be in a relationship and be free. And I think it also goes back to, we are a lot of people being used to toxic relationship
mm,
or some kind of um dysfunctional relationship. So
mm,
if you're in those situations, I always say what happens over time becomes the normal, like your normal way of thinking. So people have seen how some relationships are controlling, some relationships are toxic, some relationships are this and that. So then they denote that, okay, hey, at the end of the day, I am not in such a situation, so I am free. So not necessarily to say that if you're in a relationship, you ain't free. It's
mm.
all about being in a good relationship, a healthy relationship, a relationship that actually helps you in actually leveraging your freedom in the best possible way. So I hear that a lot, but I feel like it's more about your experiences that positions you to be able to speak in that or such a manner.
So I want you to double click on this a little bit. You said you can be in a relationship and be
Mhm,
free. Tell me
mhm.
more about that.
So what is freedom? Right?
Hmm.
It depends. Freedom is, I would say, freedom lies in the context of a situation, right? So I can, if for lack of a better example, let me say slavery, freedom. So all that we are saying that we are free from the oppression. Do you know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
mm, mm,
So what are you being free from? If you are talking about somebody controlling you, that you think if I'm single, I'm free from it. You can be in a healthy relationship that you're not controlled. So in that regards, whether you're single or in a relationship, you are free.
mm,
Do you know what I'm
mm,
saying? You can
mm.
be in a relationship that it's toxic, the person kind of maltreat you and all of that, so you feel like anxiety and all of that keeps coming in, so you don't really feel like you are free in regards to expressing your true self, right?
Mm.
But in the other hand, you can be in a very good relationship that you can genuinely even be your true self. The relationship might actually even help in you actually becoming or getting to the state of being truly yourself. That's what I'm saying. So that free concept is just more about the experiences of the person, right? So most people have had friends that have been maybe in wrong relationship, and the dynamics of the relationship make them feel that, oh, okay, then I'm free. Because why? I am not in those situations. But if you're in a perfect or a good relationship, there's nothing like perfect, but if you're in a good relationship, healthy relationship, you are literally free to do what you think. When you are single, that's when only you can do.
I
But
see.
uh, and I think the flip side too is that I don't want to mature, right?
But
Like
you
for
don't want to
instance, I don't
mature.
want to mature
Before we
and be
get to the
committed.
maturity part, I want to hear what Annie has to say to that. Any comments on that?
So personally, I've not been in a relationship where I haven't felt free before.
Okay.
That's because I'm also not going to necessarily entertain someone who makes me feel caged in or whatever. Um, you are supposed to be in a relationship with your friend. The
Mm,
person that you're with is supposed to be your friend at that. So if from the onset, I always say I don't want to date someone whereby I can't eat can't get comfortably in front of them whatsoever. I don't want to be with somebody like that. I want to be myself. So the moment that I cannot be myself, then quote unquote, that's where people get um the the ideology that, oh, I'm single and free. It's because they've probably been in relationships, as Yah was saying, that
mm.
had them caged in, quote unquote. So that's why I raised my brow when I heard single and free, because to me it should just be I'm single. You don't need to attach the free, but it only comes out of people's mouths
Oof.
who've been in toxic situations. 9 out of 10. So I'm single. I'll say single and happy. How about that?
Huh.
Yeah.
So single and happy. So check this out. How about, in our society, you start to hit 25, 26, 30. It's like, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, bruh, we got issues. Society keeps on pushing. Hey, you know what? You need to get this thing going ASAP.
Mhm.
What's your take on that?
So, um, personally, I'm now
Mhm,
27, and everyone's like, when are you getting married? As pretty as you are, why aren't you married yet? Don't you think about marriage? You need to start having kids, biological clock, then. Okay.
yep.
Um, my thing is that there's a timing for everything, and there's a timing for everyone. Just
Mm,
because I know some of my friends that got married probably when they were like 21, favored them doesn't favor me at this point. Um, and I go back to this always. I feel like the people who are influencing us to get married early, quote unquote, our mothers and stuff like that. Back
mhm,
then, it was that norm to get married early.
mm,
However, right now, you want to have your career together because no man right now, 9 out of 10, wants to really cater for you. He
mhm,
wants to make sure that you're not a liability and that you're an asset to him. So
mm,
you have to ensure that you're doing well for yourself so that when you come in and y'all come back, y'all come together, you all are a combining force. So I don't really get pressured by it. I just feel like I hate to say it this way, but it's like if all your mates are getting married
mm.
and as the adult, you feel like you keep telling me this. How about all your mates are dying? When are you two dying?
Ooh, what if your mates are not dying?
Then why are my mates not getting married? It's not a
Well, so
competition. It's not a time frame. It's not. You shouldn't do. It's like asking someone, when are you going to get pregnant? We all wish we were married or in a relationship, but it's not
yeah.
a rush. It's, it takes time.
Okay.
So, but let me ask this though. I mean, I've seen both sides. What I mean by that is I've seen, women who were fortunate enough, and I'm talking about the specific point about biological clock. I've seen women who were fortunate enough to have kids, very early. By the time they were 30, their kids were like, 8, 9. I've seen that. I think my mom had me when she was 25. Yeah. Well, I think my mom, no, my dad was 25. My mom was 22. So, but of course, their era is different. Now, this is the part where I get confused. So I'm looking at a girl. Girl says, you know what, I'm going to be done with college. Maybe what, 24. They decide to be established themselves so they don't become a liability to a man. So because of that, they focus on their career, they focus on their education. By the time they are really ready to settle down, maybe give or take, and don't quote me on this, maybe like 30, 31, and then they start getting on the dating scene. The science is not wrong. I've seen it firsthand where the moment a woman gets to the hospital and they are 33, 34, they are just like, oh, wait, you are high risk. And then a lot of things start to come up on that. How do you combat that? Do you get my question?
I mean, I get what you're saying, right? But I can't rush it. Like, if right now I find the perfect person for me and we want to get married, I'll do it. I'm not
Mm,
saying that I'm going to wait till I'm 30. I'm not saying that I'm waiting till I have $1 million in my account. I'm not also saying that. But I don't feel pressured simply because I sleep at night and I'm okay. Like, I'm good. Like,
mm.
I I love love. I love love. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I'm not gonna sit there and just dish
Love
it
is
out
a
to just anybody.
beautiful thing.
It is.
You,
It's a beautiful thing.
Divanch. Yeah, what you say about that?
Okay. So I don't think it is necessarily different from old and now. I think marriage is still marriage, and the value in marrying early is still there, as you rightly talked about, right?
Mhm.
I feel like there are several factors where why a lot of people try and be like, oh, I have to focus on my career and that. I feel like most men who are providers and that typically are not looking for like whether you bring 100K, you bring 200K to the table. You're
Mm,
thinking about, are you able to kind of bring peace into my life? Are you a peaceful person? Can you raise my kids? These are the critical things those men
mm,
are thinking about.
mm,
So
mm.
the concept of I want to get my, sorry for lack of a better word, as people would say, I want to get my shit together. Normally, it happens in the realm of men that most ladies will not feel like you are able to provide, protect all of these if you don't have things together. For a man, they are not necessarily looking at these things, right? And I always say,
Wait,
I,
wait, hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. So, what I'm hearing you say is for a man, there are certain things that you need to hit, which is to be able to provide, to be able to
Mhm,
protect.
yeah.
If you name just the two, if you don't hit those, you're not ready to get into a relationship.
I'm not saying you're not ready, but I'm saying that the world currently do not deem you as ready. If you meet most ladies nowadays, they're gonna talk about the 3 6, right? Or
Who's
meet
the three
the,
six?
Hell, what's that?
the
What is that 3 6, bro? Now I feel
Ooh,
old.
they're gonna talk about, first of all, is he 6 feet and out, right? Number two,
Okay,
is he making
check,
6 figures and out, right?
check.
Number three, they're gonna talk about, does he have a 6 inch dick, right? These are the
Oh
three things.
boy.
Let me. But let's be real, right? Men gain, as a man, you gain more, you gain more kind of leverage the more you grow in terms of the status quo.
Status quo.
So basically, the more you advance in your career, the more your life is stable, the more you have your own place. All of these things make you more valuable.
Mm,
Ladies, normally, it doesn't work necessarily that way. A lady does not, men do not necessarily see a lady that you need to be making 200K, or you need to be making $1 million, or you need to this before they see you are valuable. They see that in your character and the way you
Mm,
present
mm, mm,
yourself,
mm,
right?
mm, mm.
Those are critical to men. So, and to be honest, let's be real, everybody has their peak season. Men have their peak season. Men, their peak season is when they have matured and they have grown in terms of their finances and all of that. Women has a peak season, like they have their peak season. Their peak season, normally, unfortunately, it doesn't grow with time. It
Oh
depreciates with
boy.
time.
Oh
So
boy.
normally, so
Ooh.
so basically, when the
Wait,
older
wait, wait,
generation,
wait, wait. Hold on. You going too fast for me. So what I'm hearing you say is men have a peak season and it comes with the amount of things that you're able to amass.
yes.
But then the women, it doesn't work like that. So Annie, is that true?
Okay, I'll say this to be fair.
Tell me.
I feel like that market no was stroke I cry years ago. I feel like market
The-
now go down. See, yeah.
Wait, what you mean? The market was up? Now she's speaking a whole
Like,
different language.
back
Tell me
when
more.
I feel like back when I was like 21, 21, 22, 23, there about like I had probably a lot more numbers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could talk to this guy and see how it goes. You
Mm,
know,
mm.
I'm not saying I'm not young or fresh, but I'm just saying like young and fresh back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And but to be fair, a lot of my friends were vastly older than me. So a lot of people thought I was probably like 25 at the time. So when
Mm,
people get to that I'm like 27 right now, they're just like, "Oh, you're 27." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not old. Like just I just
mm, 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 mm.
the older people at the time." So I will say that if as a woman you get to that place where you've hit your prime, you will know it's your prime because
Okay.
it'll yeah, you will know. Now the dating scene is just like the men they go by what they see.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you've been there for like 10 years, nobody you people don't even want to people don't really appreciate you. They don't even look at you anymore because they're looking
Wait
at the
now,
new
hold on, hold on, hold on. Y'all going too fast. So if Annie, let me ask this, because hey, I'm just now y'all make me look old
No, you don't.
because I'm 35 and I'm just like, oh boy, I'm even tearing up right now. Jeez. So hold on. How about if Annie at 27 is talking about, man, the market ain't the same. How about the one that has one, two, three kids? What does the market look like for those people?
Then it becomes crazier,
and
right?
that's
So okay, so let's put this in perspective, right?
Put it in perspective for me.
Because so the market can be good for everybody, but the question is, your target audience, are they trooping into that market space that you find yourself in? That is where the question lies. It's not like you won't get somebody, you will get somebody, but the issue is, are you gonna get the target audience you want? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for
placing
instance,
yourself there.
so basically, let's say I have 5 kids,
Mm.
right? And I'm looking for somebody who doesn't have a kid, da 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 da. Now the question is somebody who doesn't have a kid, has a good career, looking for a guy with 5 kids with 5 baby mamas?
Eesh.
That is where the it becomes more challenging, right?
Mm.
And I think that is where to a lot of people have lost touch with themselves and with reality, because you must understand that at the end of the day, you cannot sell a Honda Accord at the same price of a Bentley. Like, it is what it is.
Oh
The
boy.
only instance that will happen is the buyer is stupid to a degree. So at the end of the day, people who are well versed in the market, or when anybody is going to the market for a car shop, they understand the logistics, and they know that this is Honda. Honda is supposed to be, the price range is this. This is this. So at the end of the day, the issue is, if Honda makes their car and they are targeting the audience of Bentleys, then it becomes challenging. That is where it becomes so difficult, right? But if you understand that, hey, based on my decisions, this is where I find myself.
Mhm.
This is the market terrain that I will suit. I'm not God, so I cannot basically say it's not possible to get things. But on a realistic and a normal basis, it becomes challenging, right? Most
Wow.
guys who are making like I've never heard um somebody who is stable, single guy making good money and say, I'm looking for a girl who has 5 kids and he
Mm,
doesn't have a kid. No.
mm,
So
mm,
why?
mm.
So back to your question about the more you have kids. Yes, the more you have kids, it positions you in a place that you are disadvantaged, especially if you are looking for some set of men in you to actually come on
So
see
let's
you
flip this for a
as.
second. Let's flip this for a second. I mean, you talked about the type. So basically, know the type of vehicle you are, know the
Mhm,
market you are in, and then
mhm.
know what you are targeting. Wow. But let's flip this for a second.
Okay.
Is the market biased towards women or men? Like if a guy has the same number of kids,
Mhm.
would the guy face the same problems like a woman would? Like Annie, would you talk to a guy who has 3 kids? Or what's the maximum number of kids you talk to a guy who? I mean, you talk to a guy who maximum number of kids he has.
I'll probably
Is
say
it
2, but
okay?
I've never really gone through such a situation because I know that it's something that I don't exactly want to do. It's not that I don't have the heart to do, but I'm not trying to be a stepmom right now. Like I don't really foresee it. It'll be based on the situation. Like maybe he was married and his wife passed away. That's a different ballgame. I have
Hmm,
that heart. Genuinely, I would take care of those kids. But if you've had 2 kids, like he said, that's like going to buy a Benz when you got Accord money, a Honda Accord money. So it doesn't really make sense to me. So I feel like honestly, if a guy came my way with children, that would already disqualify you. So at that point, you can't build any sort of like feeling for the person. You
hmm.
can't. There's no need to go too
So
far.
let's change
So
this up a
I
little
think
bit.
let me chime in, right. I feel
Chime in.
like one of the key things here is that is the market a little bit favorable towards men, even if they
Mhm.
have the same number of kids as ladies? Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Why do I say so? Because in the normal instances, if a lady has 3 kids, there's a higher possibility that the kids live with her,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm, mm.
So now, if she goes to the dating world and somebody's coming in, the person, hey, do you want to meet up now? I gotta take my kid to this
So the
that I have my
availability.
kid, right? So all of those things makes it difficult for them to actually kind of be give the same flexibility to their prospects.
Mm,
Now,
mm,
from a
mm,
guy's standpoint, if the guy have 3 kids, most of the times he doesn't have the kids with him, right?
mm, mm.
So even if so on a normal day, if a girl hits him up and be like, "Hey, do you want to meet? Yeah, do you want to go to let me say
Whatever. He's available. He can make the time.
travel?" He can go, right?
Yep.
So in those scenarios, it makes it look like it favors the man a little bit more
So
because you
let's
have
talk about money
flexibility to
because you
act
talked
like they are
about.
still single or they have no burden.
So let's talk about money then because you talked about the 3 6s. I don't know if it's this the first six was the money, the six
Mhm.
figures. So what if, Annie, back to your question, you have a guy who has 3 kids, person pulls up with Bentley money, making 600K. Does that change the conversation for you?
It does not.
Why not? Because it meets the three,
The,
six, whatever.
the three kids that he has naturally with the way that I am a mother. That's how I've
Mm,
always been in my friend group. Everyone calls me the mother of the group. So and obviously if I'm dating you at this time in this day
mhm,
and age at this time, if I'm dating you, I'm dating to marry. I'm not dating to just have fun or whatever the case may be, right?
mm, mm.
So I know that that is a responsibility that I have to like bring
Carry.
yeah, carry, if that makes sense. So
Mm,
I'm not gonna sit there and entertain someone like that because if you keep going for the money, the money, the money, the money, the money, somebody can have a whole lot of money, but they won't bring you peace. It may not be the guy, it may be the baby mamas. If he has 3 baby mamas, I'm not
mm,
playing with that. I'm not doing that because that lets me know there's a sense of instability somewhere. And probably
mm,
probably you are the problem. And I don't want to be a fourth baby mother. So I'm not interested. So from the onset,
oof,
matrimony.
Okay,
oof.
so that is from any standpoint, right?
That's what
Mhm,
my
Let's bring let's bring the real life
And you're
perspective.
saying real life. That's what we
Yeah.
saying right now. Whoa.
Oh, real
So when
life.
I speak, no, no, no. When I speak to real life, right, I'm
Mhm.
talking about on an average, right?
Yep,
On
on
an average.
average.
In every statistical kind of findings, there will always be anomalies, right?
Mm,
The
mm, mm,
anomalies does not define the trend line, right? Is the average that defines it. So the trend line is most ladies who are single, and if I come in with like worth $10 million, but I have 3 kids,
mm,
right?
Women would take it. Most women,
Most ladies
yes, they will
will
take it.
consider me
mm,
Absolutely.
because they are thinking about the security I can bring with my money.
mm,
They are thinking
mm,
about the provision they will get in the context. Most
mm.
ladies will even rationalize it and say, okay, what if I end up with somebody who makes 70K and my life is all about not having the things I want? But I end up with somebody who has $10 million, though he has 3 kids. I can buy the Chanel bags I want. I can travel like I want. I can have this level of provision like I want. You get what
There's
I'm
this
saying?
there's
So
this
Timing.
apostle. There's this apostle that says, "Do you want to cry in the Toyota or you want to cry in the Bentley?" Oof.
exactly, right? So at the end of the day, that is how a lot of people think about it because most people will tell you, okay, most guys will cheat. So
Mm,
should I go for a guy who is broke and cheat on me, or should I go for a rich guy who will cheat on me? Right?
mm,
So at the end of the day, when it gets to these things, most ladies will sit down and be like, hey, at the end of the day, I wanna, especially with the concept of the social media, right? A lot of people have been exposed to a lot of flamboyant lifestyles which they have never encountered. And they feel like so when you come along, despite your 3 kids, they see you as a ticket to be able to live in that kind of lifestyle. So most ladies will actually be like, hey, he's a prize,
mm.
despite he has 3 kids. But because of the level he has reached in society, most ladies will still go after, hey, like Nick Cannon is an example. Come on.
All right, my superhuman. Why haven't you subscribed? Make sure you click on the link below to subscribe. Thank you. All right, Annie, what you say? What
Let
you
me
say?
chime into that. I feel
Chime in.
like a girl my age, or reality, as you guys would say,
Hmm.
would even add on and say, "Oh, I'm gonna make sure I get pregnant by him because I'm gonna get some security. I'm gonna get some not alimony, but what's it called?
Child support.
Child support. I can get a house out of him." So women in my age would do that. They would think about what they can get out of it. That's what
Mm,
women do because women, like he said, that social media lifestyle is
mm, mm,
dominating a lot of things. It's nowadays it's very okay to cheat. It's not a hidden thing. People do it in plain sight.
mm, mm, mm.
Wives don't get upset no more because they know that, well, he taking good care of me, he taking good care of my kids. I'm gonna let him do what he want to do, and that's fine with me.
Wow,
Unfortunately,
wow, wow. So, so then, I mean, since we're on the topic of this whole cheating thing, so is it okay for guys to explore casual dating while looking for something serious? Because I mean, think about it. If you're looking at a guy who is, making 300, 400K, whatever, but making way above 6 figures or the highest 6 figures, they're not just going to jump in and say, all right, I meet this person and I'm just going to date them. So is it okay for them to go through casual before they find someone serious? And what does that look like?
I think it's okay for women and men.
Hmm. What you say,
Okay.
y'all?
You're just going to the shop. You're shopping around for something. When you're in the shop, you don't just pick one dress. You pick a few dresses and you go try them on and see what works for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't see nothing wrong with it.
So so let me say this. Okay. So in actual sense, it depends on what you mean by casual dating, right? If the
Hmm,
casual dating is like,
Getting to know people,
I'm,
right?
I'm, I'm coming, I'm coming.
I'm
I
asking.
thought, yeah, and I'm coming. So the casual dating don't necessarily mean get to know people. It could be just to get somebody to fuck on a daily basis. That's a casual dating. I could be out there and be like, okay, she cute. I just want to bang her. That's it. That's a
hmm,
casual date. So I
Okay.
am going on dates. We go out, we eat, but my goal is never to pursue anything. My goal is that at the end of the day, I come back home and she make me feel good. The issue here is this, right? What is your goal? What at the end of the day do you want, right? She talked about you go to the shop and you try on this and that. Yes, it's true. But when you go on a shop, at least most of the times, if you have a good idea, your time, the time you spend in the shop
Mm, mm,
reduces.
mm,
So
mm,
it means
mm,
that the time you will spend in the dating phase can be reduced if you have a clear picture of what you're seeking for.
It's also
mm,
true.
Number
mm.
two, your direction in the store is different. You, you
Winter
don't see
jackets.
milk or you don't see groceries, and you be like, oh, let me go check it out. Whilst you're not looking for groceries, you're looking for a watch.
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
though you will see a nice grocery, but you're not enticed by
mm,
it, you go and look for. So it's all about what are you looking for.
mm,
So
mm,
the issue is most people feel like, oh, I have that capacity to kind of mingle the two. If you're seeking for a true relationship, irrespective of whatever it is, you will first casually get to know a person before it becomes serious. But if you have the intention of the seriousness, then your time in mingling with people or trying to deal with A, B will be reduced because you have a clear idea where you want to get to. I always say this thing, exit on the road, right? There is no exit on the road that is a bad exit,
mm.
but your destination will determine which exit is right or wrong for you. So if you don't
Bars.
have a clear, defined destination, every exit might be nice to you. So the question is, are you looking for a long-term relationship, which is married, or you are looking to always be casual? If you mingle the two, the issue is you might not have a clear point of view when it comes to your destination. And as such, every exit will be something you might think is good for your journey. So you will wander around and wander around and wander around. As people say, movement does not necessarily mean progress.
Progress.
You can be moving in circle and not making any progress. So having a clear picture why you want that helps in that. And I also want to touch on this. There is this concept of options. Options. Oh, let me try A, let me try B, let me try C, let me try D. Options is one of the main reasons not people do not actually settle down or be serious with nobody because they
Mm,
feel they have a lot of options,
mm,
right?
mm,
And
mm.
the concept of I want somebody who will check all my boxes is also critical. At some point in her delivery, she mentioned the word perfect. Perfect, the word perfect is an illusion. You will never get a perfect scenario on planet Earth. It's an illusion. I always say, you are not looking for somebody who is perfect. You're looking for somebody who is good, but you're looking for somebody also who has or who weaknesses are within the context of things you can tolerate. That is the critical piece. Everybody has weaknesses, but the question is, can you tolerate the weakness or you cannot? If you cannot, move on. If you can, you deal with it. Because at the end of the day, there's nobody you will get that doesn't have a weakness, that doesn't get you on your nerve, that doesn't get you pissed, that doesn't hurt you at some point. But it's the fact that you have the ability to tolerate that weakness of the person and help that person become a better person in tomorrow for the two of you to grow positively.
Whew, I feel like we need to get some air in the room. That was a perfect delivery, bruh. But in her defense, though, she did say the perfect person for her. Not perfect totally. She just said for her. Unless I did not translate that right, Annie.
Yeah, I mean, when we and everybody thinks that their person is perfect to a large extent. That's why they pick them. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So if I say the perfect person, that's what suits me. It's for me. It's yeah, what works for me. And also going back, like when you said casual dating, I'm thinking of genuine casual dating. I'm not thinking of if you're in a relationship, should you be cheating X, Y, and Z. So I was going based off of that.
okay, and then but this whole concept of casual dating, I have heard a lot of stories where even some of my friends they'll be like, you know what, I'm hungry today. Who's going to take me out? And they don't want anything. They just want a guy to take them out and just go bring them out to a nice spot, eat and enjoy, and then go back home. How about that?
That's why it's called dating. It's just a date. It's
So yeah, and
nothing. It's just a date, okay? A relationship, the concept of a relationship, uh, or or Dating with intention is what makes the difference, what brings about the difference. So, yes, the first couple of times, I probably just want to go out and just look cute, wear our newest outfit, try our newest makeup trick, and go out. And so the guy, goes, oh my gosh, you look good. Da, 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 da. As time goes on, you're getting to
Mhm.
know the person. Then the dating becomes um, intentional, and then it progresses into something else. You're
So
only
let me
going.
ask this. Why can't it be intentional from the start? Why does it have to be from the beginning? It's just casual. Because I don't want to pay for someone go sit at a restaurant and then spend 150, 200 bucks just to sit there.
We're gonna have conversations. It may flow, it may not flow. So you shouldn't go in there. You need to have a balance when you're going on these dates. It's okay. I met this nice guy. He seems to be a nice person. Let me try and get a feel for who he is.
Mm,
You go out on the date. If it goes well, you grant a second date. And it should be from the two ends. Both parties should know that I want to go on another date with this person. That's when the intention flows. But I don't really think that on the first date, because women, we have this mindset that when a guy tells us we look good, blah 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 blah, 9 out of 10 we start to think about the wedding day. Oh my gosh, she's gonna marry me. Drop all of that. Drop it. Just get to know the person. Have you seen the person angry? Have you seen how he acts with kids? So the intention thing um shouldn't be the first thing all the time. Just get to know the person, and then it'll progress into something else. That's my opinion though.
You see, this is one of the reasons nowadays guys don't really want to spend that much on first dates, right? Because at the end of the
You
day,
didn't spend that with the person.
you might be there for just the food, right? So at the end of the day, why don't we why don't we go for a coffee shop and you get some coffee? I don't know
There's
if you
nothing
need
wrong
coffee,
with
but
wait,
so
what did Annie say? I missed that. It's not what?
there's nothing wrong with the coffee date. There's
I've
nothing
seen
wrong with
people
that.
that clearly say, oh, he said
No,
taking me to a coffee shop, I'm not going.
no. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just getting to know the person.
Mm.
right.
Yeah,
Perfume is
please continue.
expensive. Oh. Perfume is
So
expensive. Just spray for
that
just anyone. So no, a coffee
so
shop.
so that is you see so you see this is one of the concept that I feel like is there right now. A lot of people feel like, okay, I'm going for food. That is why most guys nowadays has a level of hesitation, being like, okay, hey, we're splitting the bill. Waiter, please, two checks. Right? So at the end of the day, if you genuinely came to know me, right? I ain't saying that it's right and I ain't saying that it's wrong. But what I'm trying to put out there is that these are some of the reasons some guys act that way, right? So the people are coming for food. That is why most guys also feel like, oh, then I have to have sex with you at some point because it's like I've invested. I need
Mhm.
to reap, right? Because the concept of we thinking not genuinely trying to know each other, but we thinking about how can I use this person to my benefit is there.
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
as a guy, they are thinking about, okay, I take you out, man, I gotta bang you because at the end of the day, hey, yeah, I don't care about the $200 I spent at the restaurant or the five
mm,
hundred
mm,
dollars
mm, mm.
because I got to kind of have sex with you, right? But it's high time people kind of be like, okay, I want to genuinely know this person. At the end of the day, how much more? How much is food? Like what? $50 per plate or what? $100, 150. So like it's time people. That's why we don't get good relationships
But to be
because
fair, sorry to cut you off, but to be fair, that's why on first dates you'll hear a girl 9 out of 10 say, "So what are your intentions with me?" And men, most men, for they might
Mhm.
men are good with words. Women are big on emotions. So men are selling you this dream. Oh yeah, I think you're
Mm.
very intelligent, you're brilliant. I can see us moving to the next level. But like you heard him say, you know, probably $200 is not that much to him. So at the end of the day, it's important to talk about the intentions a little bit early on. And women don't give the cookie out so easily because like don't do it. It's not good. It's a no no.
And I feel like if you're a guy and you take somebody on the first date and you start talking about, oh, I see us becoming something serious or whatever,
They
I
might
think
run
something is
away.
wrong. I think something is wrong with you, guy.
I
Like
mean,
you, and I feel like most people are not real with each other. No, I'm just trying to get to know whether your head space is right, whether you're cuckoo or not. Like, let's be real. Let's be
it's
real. There's nothing like I'm taking you serious on the first date. There's everything like, okay, I'm trying to get to know whether you're a crazy person or you're a good person, whether you carry the values I want or whether you don't, right? And I think at times, time is a good kind of, let me say, element that reveals truth. Take
that's true.
time to get to know a person, right? So not like in the first date, I'm promise you heaven and earth. No, baby, we ain't doing that. The first, I'm getting to know you, and this is why. Let me bring this in. These are one of the reasons why guys nowadays feel like they're the prize also, right? So at first, ladies feel like, oh, you taking me on a date. As you were saying, I'm putting on expensive perfumes and the rest. Come on, why? Am I coming with just deodorant? I'm also putting on some cologne. You get what I'm saying? So I'm also coming to the game with something. So it's not like because you use your $500,000 perfume, so I should come and succumb to you. No, this
No
is
one's saying that.
these are the real things. These are the real things that are happening, right? So a lot of people come in, they feel like they're the price also. You are the price, I'm the price. And I feel like there's nothing wrong for anybody to think they're the price. But I feel like
Mm.
in the perfect situation is when you have two people who value each other as the prize and they all cherish and appreciate each other.
Oof. This just got me quiet. I don't even have a comeback for that because I feel for the most part a lot of women come in saying, "Well, where are you taking me? I deserve this, and I'm gonna grant a second date." And is it not supposed to be both ways?
So, for example, if I'm talking to somebody and
Hmm.
they say, "Oh, what is the ideal? What is your ideal first date?"
Hmm.
Personally, I love rooftops. I love it. I just love the scenery. I think it's beautiful.
Mm.
That does not mean that if you take me to a museum, I'll have a problem with it.
Mm.
Another woman would have a problem with it because to her, she feels like she's communicated what she wants, and that's exactly what she wants. But I feel like the rooftop vibe or the perfect restaurant puts you in a position where you cannot be comfortable completely. Like you might want to impress the guy. And I
Mm.
feel like you shouldn't go out of your way to impress the guy. If the guy is already trying to take you out, that means you've already impressed him somehow, some way, shape, or form. Just
Mm.
be
Mm.
real as you can be so that it can progress into something else. Now, women, because of the mindset, it's because of this whole ideology. What can I get out of him?
Mm.
And that's what's collapsing this whole like dating world. It's what can I get out of him? What can I get out of her? Nobody's
So
coming in with genuine intentions, like, oh, okay, like I foresee, like, nobody's trying to be friends.
nobody's trying to be friends, and
Everybody's trying to be husband.
that actually brings me to my next question. Like, how do you even find people now? Dating apps? How do you filter between, all the real and then all the BS? Because you're not seeing them.
Um, I think to be fair, it's been a lot of meet my friend, and then there's the dating app. I've gone on the dating apps. Um, it's not really the most of the dating apps. I won't lie to you. The guys on there really just want some cookie. I'm just being honest.
Hmm.
Yeah,
um,
it's a quick. I think for them, I feel like that's what I've observed, and that's what I've also heard from other people. But most of the meet and greets is by you stepping out. If you staying home, nobody gonna find you. That kind of thing.
Well,
yeah, and I feel like what she said is true.
Wow, we're agreeing.
I guess at some point, we gotta agree on something, right? Right. I think in our generation, it's mostly either social media, right? When people are sliding into other people's DMs, all these dating apps, and also at times events, right? Going to programs and meeting a beautiful lady and be like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Kind of a thing, right? These are the main avenue. And this is the funny thing I always say, right? A lot of people feel like it's so convenient for somebody to use dating app to kind of have a conversation with them. But if somebody outside sees them outside and approach them, they feel like it's weird. I'm like, you see a human being in person saying
Nah,
hello to you. That is weird. But somebody you don't know, whether it's a robot, whether it's a catfish, whatever, you feel that that is the most appropriate way the person can say hello to you, and the person cannot say hello to you in the gym. The person cannot say hello to you in human flesh. And I think these are crazy. Like the
but
generation,
why,
I
why
feel like
why do you think that is?
I think the issue is that we are too judgmental. Like we see a guy whose beard is not connecting, and we're upset. You know, we're like, why is he coming and
Bruh, is
talking?
my beard connecting today? I gotta
you better
restore my
be,
beard.
you better be.
You know what I'm saying? So at that point, even if the guy's a really good guy, you've already like marked him out because
Mm.
of his presence. Whereby if you come in as a woman and know your power, you can change all of that. So it's all about that prejudgment. Like, oh, he's too short. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If he's short, I 9 out of 10, I might not look at
But you
him.
but you can't change that though.
I can't change that. I
Oh
can't
boy.
change the height, but I can get to know the person, and I think that's why it's very important to become friends.
What are
I
you getting to know the person for? When you already know
You
you don't
know
want
that,
that.
yeah. Well,
I'm
So
not
that's the point. You
is
already
it a
know that
waste
you
of
ain't gonna go for
time
that.
or what?
I'll say
Because you
this.
already know you don't like that. So
I'll
that is where it becomes PT, like at some point, you guys are close enough. Be like, okay, it is what it is. Let me give him a chance. But genuinely, is that what you want, right? And that is one of the issues. A lot of people are cheating a lot because people are settling for things that genuinely that's not what they want. So in the moment, they'll be like, okay, I got this, and especially when I say for a guy, right? Most guys who have not reached their peak, if they select and it wasn't genuine. It wasn't like from a place that this is really what I want. They
Mm,
regret it
mm,
because at the
mm,
end of the day, they feel like, I chose too early. Because
mm,
now the people that they wanted attention, that were not giving them attention, are giving them the attention now, and they don't know how to handle that attention and go back and look at what they have, which doesn't meet what they want. So they are like, One day, by the time you realize they give in to that tension, right? So I feel like if you don't genuinely, if there's nothing, feel like this boy is too sharp for me. Go, let him be.
I like to chime in because I used to do a lot of that, and then I met this guy. I think we dated for about 8 months or so. He was, when I think back about on our relationship, it was a great relationship until
mhm,
things just flopped, right? Ideally, if I saw him on the street, I wouldn't have spoken to him. All of my friends were like, "Oh, he's a really nice guy," but I was like, "He's not really my type, whatever." But once I just made a decision that I'm gonna get to know him for who he is, I fell
mhm,
in love with the person. One of
mm,
probably my best relationships, if not.
mm.
Um, but at the end of the day, I had to give it a try. So that's why I was talking about the whole judgment thing. Like he may not be the height that you want, but if the good outweighs the bad and you want to give it a try, it doesn't hurt, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
So,
see. I don't know if I agree with that entirely, and the reason why I say this is, let's just talk about height, for example, right? If right from the onset you like, man, dude is not my height qualification, it's not going to change in 10 years. It's not going to change
That's not
next
about
year.
the change.
But that
Yes,
just makes it harder for the guy, though, because he never
because
met
we
it.
don't have competition.
Yeah, because the guy never met that in your mind. It's like in reverse. If you have a girl that when you see the girl from a guy's perspective, you like, man, she's just beautiful. She just meets it for you. Even if she cusses you out, you looking at her like, huh. As compared to the next person where you like, bruh, seriously? The
Yeah.
moment she does even something that's negligible, you over there going, what the hell? So why can't we just be honest from the start? Height
If you
doesn't
don't like
match.
it, you don't
Let
like
it
it.
go.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. But then it doesn't hurt to give it a try. Like in my opinion, with that relationship, the fact that I gave it a try lets
Hmm.
me know that sometimes I just need to be a little bit more open because
So
I
why
learned
did they
a lot
end?
from the relationship. What was
Why
that?
did they end? Why did they end?
Oh, homeboy cheated. So
Ooh, short
I
king
couldn't handle
cheating.
I couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it.
I
And
feel you.
it was a very it was a very painful situation at the time because
Mm,
he came to me on some like I really like you. Remember, it was my friends that were like, give it a try, give it a try. And then I genuinely fell in love with the person.
mhm.
Um, I was happy. When they say Odoma Nipa Jimmy, this was the one for me. I realized that wow, like, I really love this person, but the cheating in my face, nah, couldn't do it.
So let me ask you this: did you not see any signs of that from the start?
No, not at all.
Because
If you
what I've come to realize is most of the time, whatever brings a relationship to an end, when we meet people, of course, we're spiritual beings. When we meet each other, our spirits just communicate and we already know, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And then we brush it off. And then later on, 5, 6, whatever months, a year, whatever. And then we like, oof, this is not working. So if you really think about it, are you really sure you did not see the signs from the beginning?
I promise you, I did not see the signs.
Y'all, have you seen anything like that?
So I feel like most of the times the signs will be there, but people are clouded by the whole infatuation
That's also a
stage
true state. That's also a true.
that they feel like nah. And also at times too,
Hmm.
the level of investment makes it difficult for people to detach.
Ooh,
When
ooh.
people feel like I've invested so much in this relationship, the next level of like think of thought, sorry, is that how can I still make this work out? Because at the end of the day, I've committed 5 years. I'm ready to let it go. So though he cheated, though
Mm,
he's slapping me in the face, though
mm,
he's
mm,
doing this
mm,
and that, but
mm,
can I make it work?
mm,
Right?
mm, mm.
And at times people stay with people not because the present is nice, but they stay there because of the the illusion of how great their life could have been in future.
So
So the
when is it
idea
okay to
now,
leave?
when is it okay to live? I feel like it's only okay to live when the two are not willing to make it work. That's the only time. That's what I think. When the two are not willing, because at the end of the day, relationship is a two people phase,
Situation.
right? The two must always be willing to put in the right effort in order for the relationship to work. I always say, people say, oh, love, love, love. I normally say love is like a seed,
Mm.
right? The more you water it, the more it grows. The more you give it the right nutrition, you do mulch and pruning, all of that, it will grow. If in year two you start to deprive it from the
The
nutrients,
nutrients, yeah,
it will start to
shut down,
die out.
die out.
The issue, that's the same thing with relationship, and that's the same thing with marriage. If you guys are married for 20 years, 50 years, it takes a conscious decision to always keep on watering it, always keep on giving it the sunlight, always keep on giving the right nutrition for it to grow. So at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to give it and she doesn't want to give it, you guys are not in the same page to move forward. Even the Bible says, how can two work together unless they agree? So agreement is critical. You guys coming to the table. So like Annie's case, you cheated, right? But are we willing, the two, are we willing to put in the effort from any standpoint? Be like, am I willing to forgive you? Am I willing to build trust again in this picture? Is he also willing to be like, hey, babe, I messed up. I wasn't supposed to have cheated, but I did it, right? And I apologize for it. How can we move on from here? So when the two come back together and be like, how can we proceed from this standpoint? That is when relationship will work. Relationship will always have issues, But what I always say is not what happens to you that matters at times. The most important thing is how you respond to what happens.
Mm.
But to be fair,
I ain't
um,
saying you didn't put in an effort, but I'm just saying it. You
no,
get what
no,
I'm saying?
I'm just talking from a girl's perspective and how I felt at the time.
Sure.
That I feel like that was the one relationship where I gave it my all. Like I really gave it my all. And so when the cheating came, it was a big shocker to me. Like it took me aback. And it was a long distance relationship as well. So the trust there was just like decreasing by the day. We went through counseling. I actually forgave him. I moved on. We were fine. But then it went from cheating to now disrespect to now you losing your mind. So I called him one day and I said, "Hey, this is just not gonna work anymore. Oh, come and see. I'm gonna." What did he say? My favorite line. What was it? It was "I'm gonna kill myself," and I was like, "Ukuhua, I'll still find somebody else. So don't mess with me. It's just not gonna work. You can't treat someone that you care or love about consistently with so much disrespect." And I think
Mm.
that women we tend to tolerate a lot of things
Mm.
that we know is unacceptable, thinking that's going to change. The way I saw it, it was not going to change. So that's why I stepped away from the
Do you
situation.
think it's just women that tolerate a lot of things?
Men do as well.
I
Okay.
feel like it all depends on number one, right? Your self value, how you actually value yourself.
Mm.
Number two, how you assess the world around you. These are very critical. If you feel like the world around you, maybe you feel like this is my last stop, there's nothing out there, yes. 9 times out of 10, you will stay, even if you are disrespected. If you yourself don't feel like you are the prize or you come with value, nine
Mm.
times out of 10, you are accepted.
Mm.
If you like the ability to set boundaries, 9 times out of 10, you are accepted. These are critical things, right? And that is why I feel like a lot of
Why would you want to be the one out of the 10? Everybody wants to be accepted.
okay. So this is what this is. Let me tell you, ladies will levitate towards the one out of the 10 because that is where the term alpha male comes in. Because some ladies like you see ladies say, "Oh, he was too soft for me. Oh, he loved me too much. Oh, this and that." Why? Because they themselves, when a lady knows that she's getting her way with you, she knows it.
Hmm.
At times, some ladies are looking forward to you to say, "Baby, we don't play like that here." Right? You might have been doing with guy A, guy B, guy C. I don't care about that, but you're in my space. You better do this or you out.
Mm.
You got
Wow.
to check. Yeah, it's all about setting the boundary. You cannot raise your voice and think I'm just gonna smile at you. Now, if you raise your voice, I'm ending this call, and that's it. You can go like setting the right boundaries is critical,
Yeah.
right? It might look like, oh, who you gonna get? But I'm telling you, that is when most ladies actually troop in because they know that you are a man that knows what you stand for. You have a clear picture of what you want, what you need, what you permit in your life. Not everybody that lets everything go. Oh, she insults you today. Be like, oh, it's okay, babe. We can work on this. No, I'm not saying don't work on things, but let the person know that hey, we don't play like that here.
Wow. Wow. I don't even think we can. Whew. Annie,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to you.
Talk to me.
What would you tell a lady as we start to wrap up? What would you tell a lady who is in her? I'm gonna give you two groups of people. A lady who is in her early 20s, 20 to 26, and then from 26 upwards. What are you gonna tell those two ladies as they step into the world, and the ones that have already been out there?
So I'll say to the first group of ladies, the 20 to 26, um, identify a lot of self-love so you know who to allow into your space.
Mm.
Because if you have a lot of self-love and you've done a lot of healing, a lot of your inner child, if you heal your inner child, you're able to attract the right person. You'll
Mm.
know this is okay for me, this is not okay for me. Okay. Um, at the age of 20, you also want to learn the importance of not cheapening yourself.
Mm.
Not every man that comes to you and tell you he loves you mean he loves you. He just loves what's in between your thighs. They probably don't even love it. He just likes it. So be very mindful of that. Don't be persuaded by words. Go by the actions. For someone who's 27 and up, you should be mature enough to understand the game now. You should be in a position where you are poised and put yourself and place yourself in positions whereby people, the people that you want to attract are there. So if you want a man of God, 9 out of 10, you probably should not be in the club looking for a man, thinking it's going to work. And then extend a lot of grace because we're all humans. We're all prone to make mistakes. So you're not going to find, quote unquote, the perfect person, but find someone that you can make life work with. And most importantly, I tell people that when you're when you're picking a partner, understand that that person can become your children's father. Same way that woman
Deep.
can become your children's mother. So don't just sleep with just anyone out there. Be very mindful of what you give out there, because if you give out to someone your full cup and you become empty, you are the one that's gonna walk around with so much sort of depression, X, Y, and Z. So know yourself and know who to give out your energy to. I
Mr.
hope that
Yao,
makes
Yeah.
what would you tell the guys that are out there that are hearing everybody say it's time for you to settle down, and they are not getting the attention that they need because they feel like whenever they say their mind and then they say exactly what they are looking for,
Mm-hmm.
the world says, "Oh boy, you are too rough on the edges." What would you tell them?
So I did. So this is it. There's something I would say, right? As a man, I feel like first of all, understand the value you bring to the table.
Mm.
Understand that you have to grow yourself as a man, right? In terms of your leadership skills, your finances, like these are critical, right? You need to get to a place that you don't have it all, but at least you have to a degree that you are self-sufficient and you are not going to be reliant on any woman to be
Mm.
to be able to provide or do all the things you have to do from a mind standpoint. Also, do not. I feel like there's no need for you to be out there begging and begging and begging for attention. Like I feel like most guys feel like, oh, it's like they say that it's a man who chases. So it's like you are doing everything and she's just chilling, she's not giving you attention. Boy, stop. Stop. If she's not giving you attention, let her go. When the lady likes you, she'll let you know. She's not gonna make you go through hoops and all of that. If a lady tells you I like the chase, let her be. Because 9 times out of the 10, she's a lady that is dating multiple guys. That is the truth. Most ladies that love chase, they're dating multiple guys. If a lady likes you, she's gonna let you know. So if don't be at the mercy of ladies and it's like you are begging them, then you are crying on the phone that they didn't pick your call and all of that. Boy, stop. Stop. Grow some self-love and grow some confidence in yourself. Work on yourself. Build yourself. Go to the gym. Work on yourself. Work on your body. Work on your intellect. Work on your finances. Be a man that when you stand out, people will say that now. Even upon just having a conversation, I see
Wow.
value in him. When ladies see
Wow.
value, their mindset changes. I'm telling you, ladies do not react the same way to all men. It's all dependent on the value they see in the man. If they
Wow.
don't see value in you, they will treat you like you are nothing. If they see value in you, they readjust their character even to suit you. The issue is we don't build the value and we just feel like, oh, no. So build the value and don't rush for marriage. Take your time. Know where you want to grow. Know where you want to go to. Destination is critical. Don't marry for the now, marry for the tomorrow.
Mm,
Because the
mm,
now
mm.
will pass away within 24 hours, but your tomorrow will always be there. You have to have the vision of how do you see yourself tomorrow. Otherwise, you will marry somebody. Let's say that right now you are making, let me say, 100K. If you marry somebody whose whole dream is around 100K, the moment you elevate to 200K, she doesn't have the capacity to handle it. Sorry to use just figures in that regard, but you have to marry somebody who will have the capacity to grow with you into your future. So have a clear picture of your future, and don't marry just because of your now. Just because right now things are not good, and it doesn't mean that take any lady when you know you will be the president of the United States. Come on, think about it, right? So you have to have a clear picture of where you get into, because that will inform the kind of relationship you need to entertain, the kind of relationship you need to actually yield yourself into it. So I think from my standpoint, by the end of the day, always know that Jesus loves you and God loves you. So the more and rely on God to actually guide your ways. By the end of the day, love yourself, understand, have a clear picture of your tomorrow. Marry not based on the now, but marry with the mindset of the tomorrow also in the picture. Grow yourself as a man also, intellectually, physically, financially, emotionally. Emotional intelligence is critical as a man. You need to know how to manage your own emotions and manage the emotions of other people also. So that is basically what I'll say in regards to if you're a man and you
Wow.
really want to move on in life. These are some of
Wow.
the things you can actually focus on. And I think at the end of the day, instead of you chasing, they will be chasing.
Wow. I like that. Thanks for that submission. Growing up in growing up in Ghana, I mean, if you even if you look at the entire Africa, back then there used to be what is called the rites of passage, where before as a man you are even called a man, you had to go through the rites of passage. And I like that you talked about loving God and then God loving you. If we go back to scripture, the Bible says, and for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother's house. The Bible did not say a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That means that you have to be a man before you leave. Now, the flip side of that also says, and he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It did not say he who finds a girl.
Yeah.
You have to be a wife before you are found. I think for the most part, our society, especially sitting from where I'm sitting right now, I mean, you've done a lot, you've seen it, you have kids, you've just basically seen life, right? I look at myself when I was in my 20s and I look at myself now and I'm just like, dang, what are the things that I would tell that guy? I wouldn't change much, but the biggest thing that I would say is always keep the end in mind or start with the end in mind. I like what you said about if you know you're going to become the US president, who's going to be your wife? Where are you going to find her?
Exactly.
If you know you, the girl who's going to become the next female president of the United States, where do you think you're going to find your husband? And I think having that at the forefront and then reverse engineering that really changes the entire dynamic. It actually helps you figure out, well, should I be in shape or I shouldn't be in shape? Should I be reading more? I shouldn't be reading more. How much money should I be making? Who should I be networking with? And then really balancing that act. I think most of the time we get put into this place where it's about hurry up and go get married so you don't miss that train. And that pressure, if not handled well, especially if you're a girl and then you see all your girls getting married, and every year you are going to a wedding, and every year they are making you sew the new clothes and do the new hair and blah 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 blah. And you're like, man, when is it gonna be my turn? I
Exactly.
think for any girl listening to me, I would say as much as we tell the guys spend time developing yourself and getting to become a man, you should also spend time developing yourself to become a wife
Absolutely.
because once you're a wife, you will be found. Any last minute comments from anybody?
I'd like to add on to the fact that while you are learning about yourself,
Mm,
adopt a craft on top of your maybe your 9 to 5 that you're doing. I say this because I started doing hair when I was 13.
wow.
Um, I the Proverbs 31, a lot of people go for the sweet parts of it, but the part that I think resonates with me the most is the one that talks about she rises early in the morning and she looks for or she fends for clothes for her children, something like that. It's something along those lines. Because at the end of the day, you're probably looking for a man who's making X amount of money, blah blah blah. But the day, God forbid, he gets into an accident and his job requires of him to use maybe his hands, you are doomed. And you can't leave that marriage because your husband has an accident. So be sure to invest in yourself and understand that marriage is definitely for better for worse.
Mm,
You can't just walk out of it when you feel like it. It's definitely
mm,
for richer, for poorer, and it's
mm,
certainly in sickness and in health. If you can't understand the vows that you're going to say, you should be learning your vows way, 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 way before that wedding day, understanding what you're about to commit yourself into. So come prepared as much as you can, learn from others, and know that the marriage that you're seeing on social media is simply on social media. You're not behind closed doors with them to know
ooh,
what is truly going on. If you were
ooh,
to know what's really truly going on in people's marriages, you wouldn't be in a haste to get married, but you'd be in haste to find a lifetime companion and partner.
wow.
Okay, okay. And I think one last thing I want to talk about.
Ah! You can't top that, bruh. You can't top that.
Oh no, I'm not trying to top that. But I think the most we're speaking. One of the things that I've seen in the U.S. that I really wanted to bring up is young and dumb. Right? A lot of people give themselves the excuse that, oh, I was young and dumb. Oh, I'm young. Oh, I'm this. But I just want to tell you, there's not that thing. It's no reality, because your today defines your tomorrow, whether
Mm,
you were
mm,
dumb or not. So be
mm, mm,
cognizant of your today.
mm, mm,
Right? Whether you're 21, it doesn't mean go out there and test the waters, because there's some water you will test and you will never get rid of.
mm.
Right? There are people who are 21 who have HIV. Do you know what it means? Their life has changed from that point. It's stuck with them. So you cannot, that luxury people have to be, I'm young and dumb. We need to reorient our mind and get to know that our decisions today defines our luxury in tomorrow. So if you want to have a luxurious life today, tomorrow, you have to live in the context of your tomorrow in today. That
Wow.
is when you actually have a beautiful tomorrow. So if you're a young person and you want to have a beautiful marriage, don't think don't be in your 25 and 23 as a lady or as a guy and be like, I'm young and dumb, let me test the waters, and be going out letting everybody kind of mess with you. Now you
Mm,
get to your 30s and you're like, okay, now I repent, now I'm looking for somebody to settle with. No, 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 no. That's not it. You sow the seed of craziness in your young, so in your old you reap that thing. So you have to understand. So if you, and I think what that's one of the key things between the black and the white. White people, a lot of people say they go to university to get married. They go there young. When I graduated from school, almost a lot of my white friends are married, right? But they are also pursuing careers. So
mm,
you must understand that at the end of the day, these are the things that what matters to you.
mm.
If having the career at the expense of being in a successful marriage matters to you, 100%, go for it.
Wow.
But if you're somebody that is keen on marriage, then you need to understand you might be 21, but it doesn't mean that go to every party, be getting drunk, be smoking weed, and be oos, 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 oos. And at the end of the day, you get your 35 and you're expecting the guy who is now stable to be like, oh, let me go for the 35. Because at that time, get to know the 27 that you were, that you didn't take him serious. There's another girl who is 27, nice body, everything, who's chasing after him. And that is why BBL and all of this are coming to the picture. Why? Because people want to look like they were young in order to attract the men they want. And that is where the issue is. At the end of the day, get to know there's nothing like young and dumb. Your today defines your tomorrow. So live your today with the mindset of the tomorrow, so that in tomorrow you will enjoy the benefits of how you lived in today.
Wow. Guys, these submissions, man, yeah, I don't even have any more words, but I just want to say, Yao, Annie, it was amazing having you on the Superhuman Mindset podcast.
Thank
I
you too.
can't wait to bring you guys back so we can talk with my other group that are in marriages, that have kids.